You know, if we could only just stay focused on what we really need, what's really important in life, man, I think we'd be in a whole lot better shape. It's a beautiful day on the homestead. Hey, speaking of that, y'all probably noticed that I changed the name of the thing. It's now Pruitt's Homestead. You know, we're tilling up the front yard and we're planting stuff. Let's talk about it. I think y'all saw this the other day. This that lettuce that we put in the ground, the broccoli. You know, I'm not sure why, but the broccoli's just not taking off. It's gonna be all right though. And then our cabbage over there. Noel put this celery in the other day, and look how pretty green the middle is getting on that. What that tells me is I got plenty of nitrogen in that soil, and it's just starting to green up, get pretty. She planted some basil the other day. This is last year's oregano, and man, it's so good. It's tasty. Now, she has got to get this under control. This is mint, and I don't know if you've ever, it's actually spearmint. If you've never grown spearmint, it will get out of control in just a second. Here's our sunflowers from the greenhouse. They're going to be awesome. So I borrowed my buddy, Mr. Parker, his tiller, and we're tilling up the yard, folks. You see, I'd already done one small bed over there, and I said, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do the garden that we want. It is a front yard. It is grass, and so I'm going to have to deal with that, you know, as we go. You know, I can't take all that grass up. I'm tilling a good portion of it in. I'm covering it with compost. I went and got a truckload of compost. So I'm getting truckloads of compost, and I'm bringing it in. I'm amending the soil. I'm adding fertilizer to it. You know, we're going to see what happens. So let's get some stuff planted. I'm putting these seeds about every 8 inches. You know, if I had a ruler, I'd show you. I did amend this soil with 5, 10, 15 because beans and any kind of legume, some people call it, they don't like nitrogen. Well, you know what, they love nitrogen, but if you put too much nitrogen in your soil, you're going to get a big bush and you won't get no beans. Where are we going today?
We're going to Pfifer Farms.
Is it Piper or Pfifer?
I don't know. It's spelled with a PF.
Okay.
So it's probably Pfifer.
It's probably Pfifer.
It's a farm where we get our non-GMO chicken feed.
At a great price too. And compared to Tractor Supply, we're saving what, $6?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And it's good feed, and the birds like it.
The birds love it, and they give us eggs. Actually, yesterday, man, I don't know what happened, but there was only one egg, and the girls better tighten up, get it figured out.
They were already squawking this morning, so I'm sure they're popping them right out.
Well, I went out there and I told them that it was almost chicken soup time.
I'll let him know if you're gonna move the car whenever you need it.
It's not clean, right?
Yeah, well, that'll work.
We are pulling up to our friends at Jones Creek Farm. We're gonna drop some chicken food off. We grabbed some chicken food for them while we were there.
All right, this one right here is the asparagus bed.
How long has that been there?
I planted it last spring, so it's been here 1 full year.
And 1 year. How many starts did you put in there?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I put in 10 to start with, and then the FFA students had a bunch of extra little ones. And the FFA teacher gifted me with probably another 15.
Oh, wow.
I haven't actually counted since I put in the other ones, but it's definitely full. And I've got some moringa.
Are you picking every day? The asparagus?
No, I'm not picking it all right now because they say you shouldn't start picking your asparagus until the next season. So
year two?
Yeah, since
Because I noticed that you've got some.
Yeah, I could probably
some
pick
sprouting.
that one. This one just sprouted. It's only been here for
A week?
a week, probably.
Yep.
Yep, and it's already that tall.
Doesn't take but a second.
Nope. This is a mulberry.
Mulberry?
And it had blossoms on it, and it was fully leafed out, and then we got that last frost that was 28 degrees. And I lost every single blossom and every single leaf, but it is coming back.
This is new growth.
Yep, that's new. And then I just yesterday cut down all of my old moringa trees because all the new growth is starting to sprout out.
So this is how you do it. When you have a full-size tree, then you cut it down and let it put new growth?
Yep, so the tree itself dies because it doesn't like our cold. As soon as it frosts, it's about 20 degrees, down to 30. Sometimes it'll survive at 32, but at 30, it's dead. And so then I'll cut it off, and you can see how many shoots this one root system's putting off. So we will have a whole tree here, a whole tree here, and a whole tree here. So there's going to be 3 on that one.
That's awesome. Hey, you were telling me the last time we were here, that tree is going to get like full size. It's going to be a full size
it'll grow
tree.
like 15 feet in one season. I keep cutting it back at 6 feet so it's easy to harvest.
Okay.
So then I'll let it grow, and then I'll cut the whole top off, harvest all of those leaves, and then harvest some of the bigger branches that are below the 6 foot mark.
Okay.
And then I'll let it grow for another month, and then in a month I harvest it again. So every month, from like June until whenever the first frost is, usually December. So here's a good example. So I haven't cut this one yet because my clippers were getting dull, so this one didn't get cut. So last year, not this past winter, but the winter before, I cut it here. And then it grew these 3 trees last year.
Okay.
Wow.
So
In 1 year.
In 1 year, yep. And so now you can see some new growth. And I just cleared away the mulch trying to see if I had any more. So I'm just waiting to see how many this one will produce, because this is all an experiment because it's not supposed to grow here.
I mean, that's cool.